Hello and welcome. This is the Projects Where Let's Talk. I am your host, Smokey, and joining with me today is my new co-host, Spooge.
Hello. I got
Finally
promoted.
upgraded you because you're going to be here quite a while.
Did I get a pay raise?
It's times. Your current pay goes up by times three.
Sweet.
All right. So before we get into the episode proper, today is going to be more of a zoology centered episode. So basically, like animals and stuff. But I want to announce that there is a new list that we have called the Blacklist. It will be a list of subjects that we will not be talking about, and the subject to create this list is going to be known as Chris Chan, and that's pretty much all we're going to get into with that. And also, I'm going to do a little bit here. So Spooge, me and you, right? We're me and
Mm-hmm.
you. We're going to start a company. This company is going to be a website, right? You following me?
I'm following.
All right, this website's going to be kind of like Patreon, but more open. Like we're just going to pretty much, as long as you can verify your identity, we're pretty much going to let you come to our platform, right? You following?
Yes.
All right.
I'm following.
So about 80% of our platform is probably going to be sexually explicit content. All right.
Ooh.
So what we're gonna do, right? Right after we started like making like bukus of money on like 80 having 80% of our content being sexually explicit, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna
I'm,
ban sexually explicit content from our platform.
ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be smart.
yeah. That way, the other 20% of our platform can grow and thrive through investors and banks.
Good. Yeah. Safe. Nice and safe.
That and this nice safe platform that we made for these people, that these DIY, let's say adult content makers, they can just go and deal with the underground again, because
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened before. Like ever. I think that would go totally perfectly fine. I don't even think that's happened twice before.
I think it's a genius business model, but if you're yeah.
You hit an Instagram of this weed. One sec.
But yes, that is what OnlyFans has decided to do. As of October 1st, 2021, there will be no more sexually explicit content allowed on OnlyFans.
In my prediction, by 2022, there will be no more OnlyFans.
I think it's gonna be more like Tumblr. There's still gonna be it's still gonna be around, but no one's gonna give a fuck.
Is Instagram still around?
Instagram's still around, yeah, yeah.
What was
Instagram's
the one
actually
that
really
like?
big still.
Well, which one is the one that like died after they banned the porn?
Tumblr. It was Tumblr.
Oh, it was Tumblr.
Yeah. Tumblr
Okay.
banned porn and like it's dead now. Like I believe they like even sold it to Verizon for like $50 million or some shit like that. I could be completely wrong. I stopped following that a while ago.
They never really banned it off of Twitter though.
No, Twitter's thriving. Twitter and
Hmm.
and look how Twitter's doing. Twitter's the wild wild west, man.
It's kind of odd, like, as like strict as Twitter can be sometimes, it still seems like it's still pretty loose.
See, and now, and it's gonna just open a power, but like this is just gonna open a vote. Like there's another website's gonna come in and like take all your customers away that you had. Like,
I wonder if Trump's still banned off of Twitter.
I have no clue. But yeah, that I just wanted to address those little issues before we got into the episode proper because it's very the OnlyFans thing is very weird. I find that like the dumbest. They're literally doing it because they're having troubles finding investors and stuff. But I they get like
Or just VPN, I don't know,
they get like
Raid Shadow
20 they
Legends.
get 20% cut of like every transaction that goes through their website. So I don't see like why they even care about investors.
Mhm. I see there's a big, I don't know, like people are going more towards the VTubers now too. I just think there just needs to be like a porn VTuber website and everyone could just have what they want.
Well, yeah, definitely, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's gonna be a new website that comes out, and it's gonna be better than OnlyFans now. And then once OnlyFans is gonna have to, because I don't even. I think I'm lowballing it when I say 80% of their content is sexually explicit. It might be like 95% of their content is sexually explicit content.
Yeah, I thought that was the point of that website, right?
Yeah, that's literally like it was supposed to be this safe place to where you could do your own adult content, and you get to they get like they get a cut, and you're in control and everything instead of having to deal with the sleazy porn companies and everything. You're doing it yourself, and it's completely legal and everything.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like if Pornhub was like, we want to focus on Let's Plays.
They did for quite a while, actually. They actually was focusing on having Let's Plays on their channel for
But
quite a bit.
they didn't like be
Go
like,
hard
we're not
into
doing
it, but
porn anymore.
for
We're
like
just
a
like, no
month,
more porn.
you couldn't go on there without fucking seeing a Let's Play on the main screen.
Yeah.
So
One thing
they tried to
advertising
push
it,
it, but
one thing just trying to like become a banning the sexually explicit things off and just like becoming a gaming site called Pornhub. And then someone going on there and being like, "There's no porn on here."
uh, what a great that would be such a great like story though for Pornhub though. Like they should do that.
Mm. They just
I vote
refuse
they
to
should do
change
that.
they, they just refuse to change their browser name.
Like,
There's a maybe that's in the Bernstein reality that happened.
oh yeah,
It's
the
like
Berenstain reality.
that's,
Yeah.
see, that's one of the negative things that happened to it, but it's like funny negative, and it doesn't really affect anything because there's like millions of other porn sites anyway.
Yeah. Like,
It's like, oh no, you have to go on, I guess, X videos.
or ex hamster.
Yeah, I think Pornhub was under fire anyway.
Oh,
For
I'm not gonna lie. I did support them. They did that panda charity event, so
mm,
I supported them for
that was a
that. But I
while
haven't
back.
followed them
The, the
after
the
that.
It was mainly, I think they just like it was just like non-verified people were slipping through with like some underage stuff, you know.
Oh yeah. That happened quite a while ago. Yeah, and they kind of
Mm.
purged the system. Yeah, they purged the system, and like it got really like most of the content was really light-hearted stuff. Like they didn't allow any extreme stuff or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really weird. Like they still had porn and everything, but
Mm. Which I get on a giant website like that. It's really hard to police if you make it free, like easy to post on there.
yeah, for sure.
Of course, you're gonna get some fucking freaks.
I
But
mean,
anyway,
they're.
we'll move on
I
to
hate to
different
say it
subject.
though. The worst website of them all that I think should probably actually be looked into is Heavy R. Like that
Oh, that's
they.
always the one that I like you see in your suggestions and you just like stay away from. I don't even
Yeah, I
know
don't
about that.
suggest going on that. That
It
one's a
always
rough
looked
one, but
weird.
I think it should be looked into because it's not a good website whatsoever.
I don't trust any of them that have the same image of like the same video with like a different title like 5 times or 10 times in a row.
Yeah, like they allow anything. They allow anything on that website. All right,
It's like it's
so
either gonna be
this
bad or
this
it's just gonna be like not good to watch. Not, but yeah. Anyway,
so
sort of related though. I mean,
yeah,
animal
we're talking
lust.
about animalistic stuff. So, but we're gonna talk about how some animals went extinct last year. You actually provided this article,
Oh yeah.
and the article actually reads animals that went extinct and ones that could disappear after 2021. So yeah, should I read the whole thing or should I just like go through some of the animals that we lost?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably just going to. I mean, I'll summarize probably what it says. We're fucking up environment. Most of this stuff is our fault, if not
I
all of it.
I want to give
So,
respect to the species we lost. We should go.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'm just. Mm.
keep going.
Oh no, I was just saying. So if you wanted to skim it, that's pretty much probably what it's saying. It's probably just wagging its finger at us, rightfully.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm probably not gonna go through I'm just gonna cover the animals that we've lost and everything.
Yes. Do
So
do do
the
do.
first one, we sadly lost the splendid poison frog.
Oh.
Yeah, this wonderfully named creature is one of three Central American frog species to have been newly declared extinct. The tiny red animal from Panama was highly sought after for the pet trade, apparently. And
People
the
they keep them poison dart frogs. I guess they're not too poisonous if you don't keep them with like. I think they actually have to eat something. I think is it the ants. I'm not too certain. I
I
actually
don't
have to
know,
remember that. I know it's something in their environment that like makes them more potent, and they can be more potent at different times. You know.
but the IUCN has attempted it. It does not know if the animal could still be alive in a private location. Okay.
What's
I
good
hate.
about those tiny guys is that they could be somewhere out there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that.
This also says elsewhere 22 frog species across Central and South America were listed as critically endangered. The main driver of the declines is said to be a disease called citrum. I can't pronounce that, sadly.
It's a frog disease.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Frog COVID-19.
Cipitrum Cyatroponapsis. I That's the best I can do. And it
Mm.
doesn't even have a P, so I fucked that up.
I wonder if it's a fungus or a bacteria.
It doesn't say. Just says it's a disease. Alright, moving on. Unfortunately, we also lost the smooth handfish. This green,
Not the smooth hand fish. You said the
yeah,
smooth hand fish?
yeah. Smooth handfish.
Where there goes the best hand jobs in the sea.
Yep. Greenpeace highlight how the species which lived on the seafloor is the first marine species to be declared extinct in modern times, actually. Remarkably, the animal was last seen in 1802 and, despite extensive searches, has not been found since. This highlights how difficult it is to officially declare a species extinct, and suggests many other types of fish may well never be seen again, despite not yet falling into the same category.
Cause of death, lonely sailors.
Hmm. uh, Will McClellan, head of oceans at the Environmental Pressure Group, explained the smooth headfish declared extinct this year was the first marine species to be declared extinct in modern times, unfortunately, showing that even the seafloor is not safe from the extinction crisis. From
Ah,
ocean
damn
life
it.
to
I just realized you
recover.
said smooth head fish.
Oh,
That was smooth hand fish.
it's smooth handfish. It is. I messed up there. Thank you for
Oh.
correcting me. For ocean life to recover and thrive, we need to put at least 30% of the oceans off limits to all human activities. It's vital that the world's government also commit to legally binding national biodiversity objectives. All right.
Hmm.
So another one that we lost was the Japlin Foss Brook Salamander.
No.
Yeah, the newt
New
like
York Salamander
creature
Blood.
used to be relatively common in Guatemala, but has not been recorded for decades. Females used to guard their clutch of eggs in the highlands and only lived in the Jalapa region. There are very few pictures available of the little creatures, who have slightly curved tails and various cousins in the false broke subspecies. Since the jalapa lived in trees and wood, logging and farming activities are believed to be have been a major contribute to its decline.
What have we done? It's our fault. Fucking human scum
And we
farming.
have also lost the spine dwarf mantis. This insect lived in the scrubland in central Italy, and confirmation this year that it is extinct bodes badly for other similar creatures around the world. Only one specimen was ever found in Talento many decades ago by the
Hmm.
praying mantis. Has countless subspecies, and a high number of them are concerning experts at the IUCN.
That's sad. Praying
Yeah.
mantises are super smart. I wonder if
They
they
I
passed
am
the
not
mirror
gonna lie,
test.
they're like one of the very few insects that like strongly creep me out.
They are intimidating. I've had many encounters with them, and it's you could really see that they like process and like they they really just like look you in the eye. Like they're aware that they have two. I think they have two brains.
Oh snap, that would holy that's scary.
They're real cute. I've seen. There's also a lot of cute videos of like a dude with a pets of them, and they're real goofy.
I have not I don't see them as cute, sadly.
I I don't know how much it'll hurt. I feel like it wouldn't actually really hurt to get grabbed by them, but I feel like their bite hurts.
Probably, I think that's the thing you got to watch out for. But
But
moving
they're not
on,
dangerous.
the bone-in pipestrill bat was also lost last year. Like the handfish, the animal is also likely to have actually died out years ago. Only one specimen has ever been found, but it was only officially classed as extinct in this year's Red List. London's Natural History Museum has that specimen, though it is not on display to the public because of its scientific importance.
So we just kind of got around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead.
So, all right. Now, 2021 and beyond. It looks like we're going to be losing the European hamster.
No.
Scientists are puzzled by what has caused a dramatic decline in the birth rate of acute hamster native in Europe, which was once abundant throughout the continent and in Russia. The European hamster has suffered severe population decline and is now also listed as critically endangered.
Hmm.
Fe- Females gave birth to more than 20 pups a year on average during most of the 20th century, but no, now only have 5 to 6. Experts are investigating industrial development, global warming, and light pollution as possible causes. But regardless of why, the species is expected to go extinct within 30 years at most if trend continues.
No. Gotta save him.
This one he's a real cute one. I hope we don't lose this one. It's the golden baboon lemur.
Oh yeah.
There are just 50 to 250 of the critically endangered golden baboon lemurs left in the wild, but they are not alone being at threatened lemur in Madagascar. We gotta save the lemurs.
We do. I wish they like linked some like good like proper like channels of like donating. You know.
Probably, but I wouldn't know any of them. So, apparently there are only 5 remaining species of river dolphin,
Oh yeah. River dolphins are weird.
and the northern white rhino,
Yep.
the tilapian orangutan is also critically endangered.
Pretty
And
sure
that's
we
the
already
end of this
lost the black
article.
rhino.
That those are. I feel there had been a lot more than that actually that's going extinct that they could have covered.
Yeah, me too. Cause I mean, sharks aren't doing well. I mean, they're not. We don't have an exact date of when they're going to be going to extinct and which species, but sharks have been declining of like a lot of areas because of the the fin the shark fin soup market.
That's terrible.
Yeah, when they basically just catch them, cut off the fins, and then throw them back in the water.
So we're going to mix it up a bit.
Remix.
Instead of talking about animals that have gone extinct, we're going to talk about animals that have long lifespans.
Ooh.
Yes. So the first one is and most a huge portion, like I think all of these are marine life. So don't
Ooh, is
don't
the
get,
almond here?
huh?
Is the almond here?
I do not remember because I combed through this like once because I was like I just need a few more articles, to make it.
Oh, I got you. If not, oh, I'll bring up the Olm
All right,
because it's a
so
weird one.
number one is the bowhead whale, potentially 200 plus years. Bowhead whales are the longest living mammals. The Arctic and subarctic whales' exact lifespan is unknown, but stone harpoon tips found in some harvested individuals prove that they comfortably lived over 100 years and may live more than 200 years, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Oh, damn! I didn't actually know about that.
Yeah, the whales have mutations in a gene called ERCC1, which is involved with repairing damaged DNA that may help protect the whales from cancer and potential cause of death. Furthermore, another gene called PCNA, a section that has been duplicated. This gene is involved in cell growth and repair, and the duplication could slow aging.
Ooh.
Yep. So, and moving on to number two, it
So
is the
in that, so you just said in that whale, it's like the fountain of youth.
not really the fountain of youth, but its genetics evolved to where they fight. They have like a cancer preventing gene that is a like prevents a like they can't catch cancer. So that's one less cause of death you got to worry about, and their body can repair damaged DNA a lot faster than we can, and that's really what kills us in the end. Is our bodies
I
just
know.
can't. Our bodies eventually can't repair the cells fast enough.
Either way, I'm getting some of that whale milk.
All
Moving on.
right, moving on to number two. It is the rough-eyed rockfish. It's 200 plus years old as well. The rough-eyed rockfish.
Damn.
What was you gonna say?
I said, damn,
Okay, good.
that's old.
All right. The rough-eyed
Fucking
rockfish
boys.
are one of the longest living fish and have a maximum lifespan of at least 205 years, according to the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. These pink or brownish fish live in the Pacific Ocean of California to Japan. They grow up to 38 inches or 97 centimeters long and eat other animals such as shrimp and smaller fish, according to the Committee on the Status of Endangered Wildlife in Canada, an independent advisory panel that assesses the status of species threatened with extinction in Canada. So, that kind of ties into our last article. They're
Oh,
actually on the extinction list. They're being looked at by a group that specializes in extinction. Are you there?
yes.
All right.
I was listening.
Moving on to number three, it's the freshwater pearl mussel. They can live up to 250 plus years. The freshwater
Oh.
pearl mussels are bivalves that filter particles of food from the water. They mainly live in rivers and streams and can be found in oysters. They're basically oysters.
Mm.
And can be found in Europe and North America, including the US and Canada. The oldest known freshwater pearl mussel was 280 years old, according to the World Wildlife Fund. These invertebrates have long lifespans thanks to their low metabolism.
Is that the oldest so far?
Yes, it is the old. I think they're gonna progressively age. They're gonna get the the species we cover are gonna live longer and
Mm.
longer as we go down the list. If I remember correctly.
Ooh.
The
Okay.
freshwater pearl mussels are an endangered species. Their population is declining due to a variety of human related factors, including damage and changes to the river habitats they depend on, according to the International Union of Conservation of Nature. Damn.
Damn.
All right, so moving on to number 4, we have the Greenland shark. They can live up to 272 plus years.
Oh, I love these guys. These guys are weird.
The
Uh,
Greenland The Greenland sharks live deep in the Arctic and North Atlantic Oceans. They can grow to be 24 feet or 7.3 meters long and have a diet that include a variety of other animals including fish and marine mammals such as seals, according to the St. Lawrence Shark Observation Observatory in Canada. In 2016, study of the Greenland shark eye tissue published in the journal Science estimated that these sharks can have a maximum lifespan of at least 272 years. The biggest shark in the study was estimated to be about 392 years old, and the researchers suggest these sharks could possibly have been as much as 512 years old, Live Sciences previously reported.
that's
The
a half a
age,
century, or
yeah,
not half a century, half a millennium, right?
yeah, a century is 100 years, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's five centuries.
Fucking hey. The age estimates come with a degree of uncertainty, but even the lowest estimate of 272 years still makes these sharks the longest living vertebrates on Earth.
Damn.
Alright.
So, have you ever seen like, uh, have you ever watched River Monsters?
Uh, yeah, I've watched River Monsters before, of course.
Jeremy Wade actually swam with these before. It was before they actually they didn't know a lot about them, and they just kind of assumed just how they were, that they were pretty docile, but like I don't know, they started seeing that they hunted more than they thought it like later.
Okay, so like.
So like he may have been a little bit in more danger.
Oh shit.
Because he was just swimming with it cage free, like there's no cage or anything.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
and it sounds like, I mean, they get as big, if not longer. I mean, definitely longer than at least longer than great whites. You know, on
Yeah,
average.
they get like 4 times longer than a human,
Yeah,
almost 5 times.
and and it didn't mention on there, but most of them, like almost all, the Greenland sharks like a permanent like parasite on their eyeball too, so they're partially blind, and it's like a type of, I forget if it's a type of worm, I think.
Hmm.
It's either a worm or it's a type of weird arthropod,
Okay. All right.
but it's like fused onto their eye, and that's why they have like weird like sway like ghost looking eyes. Yes. And let me look up, because they look a lot like six-gilled sharks, which are a kind of semi-deep sea shark, and those are also huge too. There's that freaky video. Let me see if I can find that video. This is not a Greenland shark. This is a six-gill, but they have similar weird derpy faces. It's like the one that, like, I'm pretty sure I've shared this to you before. The one that attacks the submarine. Let's see. Ooh, share Facebook Messenger. Smoky. But Greenland sharks, let me see if they are six gills or not. Greenland shark. I mean, their slow-moving nature is probably due to their cold environment because they're pretty much just in the northern Pacific, also known as sleeper sharks. That's kind of a fun name. Do they have 6 gills? Let's see. Genus, family, order, squaliforms. 7 gill slits. 5, 6, 7. That's family distribution. Sleeper sharks. Come on, I want to know if there's 6 gills or not. Let's see. Are you 6 gills or not? How
Oh,
many gills do
all
you
those
guys?
interesting facts you were saying, right? Right, you were saying.
Yeah. I went a little bit into 6 gill sharks too, just because they kind of remind me of them by how they look, and I was trying to see if there's a link between them.
Okay.
How many
Is it all right
gills?
that I move on? Can we move on to the next animal?
Yes, you can, but just noting that I did send you a little video video of a of a to react to, though I'm pretty sure you've seen it before.
Okay. Do should we do the reaction now or later?
We'll do it after we finish this article.
Okay. All right. So number 5 is the tube worm. They live 300 plus years. Tube worms are invertebrates that have long lifespans in the cold, stable environment of the deep sea. A 2017 study published in the uh, journal The Science of Nature found the Esperolementa, the Latin categorization of the species of tube worm living on the ocean floor in the Gulf of Mexico, regularly live up to 200 years, and some species survive for more than 300 years. Tube worms have a low death rate with few natural threats, such as a lack of predators, which has helped them evolve to help have such long lifespans.
I wonder if that's the ones that don't have buttholes.
I
Like they
have.
don't poop at all. They just like
Mm,
use everything and they just stay in place forever
it
on the
does not
seafloor.
say. It doesn't really go into the detail for them.
I just know that there's ones that exist like that, and they would make sense that they wouldn't have predators if they just never move and just stay in one place and just exist.
But number 6 is the ocean quahog clam. They can live 500 plus years.
That's what that that's what Quahog Family Guy's named after is the Quahog clam. It's a reference to that.
Okay, okay. So the
Yeah.
ocean quahog clams inhabit the North Atlantic Ocean. These saltwater species can live even longer than the other biv- bivalve in the in this list. The freshwater pearl mussels, one ocean quahog clam found off the coast of Iceland in 2006, was 507 years old, according to National Museum Wales. In the UK, the ancient clam was nicknamed Ming as it was born in 1499 when the Ming Dynasty ruled China from 1368 to 1644.
That just puts it in this perspective.
It,
How how little, how many empires of this clam witnessed just fall and crumble?
yeah, that is very.
You know, there's fucking humans at it again. They're building their shit just for it to crumble back down when they could just nestle into the sand and live peacefully for 500 years rather than burning out in a bloody fucking blaze of glory and battle after oh they after your like 12th birthday. Because when you turned 10, you became a man. But no, not for the clams. To be a clam is to be God. God is clam. God is clam. God is Quahog. Worship the Quahog. uh, Wish I knew more about clams. That's I
All right,
should know more about clams. I eat a shit ton of them.
all right. But those were some interesting facts you were sharing.
Yes.
So, uh, we are moving on to number 7 is black coral. It can live up to 4,000 plus years.
Oh. Okay,
Coral.
that's got to be the winner right there, right?
Oh, this is just number 7.
This is
There's
number 7.
yeah, this is just number 7. There's 3 more we got to cover.
We're definitely not getting to the Ohm because I mean Ohm Ohm ain't this old.
All right, so corals look like colorful underwater rocks and plants, but they are actually made up of the exoskeletons of invertebrates called polyps. Polyps. The
Polyps.
polyps continually multiply and replace themselves by creating a genetically identical copy, which over time cause the coral exoskeleton structure to grow bigger and bigger. Corals are therefore made up of multiple identical organisms rather than being a single organism like Greenland sharks or ocean quahog clams. So a coral's
Oh, so they get
lifespan
it by
is more of a
semantics.
team effort.
Yeah, they're cheating.
Yeah, they are. The corals can live for hundreds of years or more, but deep water black corals are among the longest living corals. Black coral specimens found off the coast of Hawaii have been measured to be 4,265 years old, Live Science previously reported.
Hmm.
All right. So, number 8 is the glass sponge. Take a I'm gonna let you take a guess.
Take a guess.
Take a guess. How long do you think the glass sponge can live?
1,500.
Ah, how about 10,000 plus years?
Oh. Okay. That's another zero. Um, we're not really
Sponges are
another
made
zero,
up
but
of
another.
colonies of animals similar to corals and can also live for thousands of years. Glass sponges are among the longest living sponges on Earth. Members of this group are often found in the deep ocean and have skeletons that resemble glass, hence their name, according to the
I'm looking them up.
NOAA. A 2012 study published in the journal Chemical Geology estimated that a glass sponge belonging to the species Monophos chuni was about 11,000 years old. Other sponge species may be able to live even longer.
Ooh, looking up videos of them. Definitely a bunch of different kinds, come in different shapes. Whoa.
All right. I might have misspoke. Oh yeah, no, I did not. Did not
Definitely
misspeak.
linking you that.
Where
Yeah, we're back.
All right, so Number 9 will be I'm gonna call I'm not even gonna try to pronounce its Latin categorization. It's number 9 is potentially immortal. It's called the Immortal Jellyfish
Ooh, the immortal jellyfish.
because they can
That's a good
potentially
title.
live forever. Jellyfish start life as larvae before establishing themselves on the seafloor and transforming into polyps. These polyps then produce free swimming medusas or jellyfish. Mature immortal jellyfish are special in that they can turn back into polyps if they are physically damaged or starving, according to the
Oh.
American Museum of Natural History, and then later return to their jellyfish state. This jellyfish, which are native to the Mediterranean Sea, can repeat the feat of reversing of their life cycle multiple times and therefore may never die of old age under the right conditions, according to the National History Museum in London. Immortal jellyfish are tiny, less than zero point 0.2 inches or 4.5 millimeters across, and are eaten by other animals such as fish or may die by other means, thus preventing them from actually achieving immortality.
Sea turtles too. Sea turtles really love jellyfish, and they're immune to the stings.
And there is a number 10.
Ooh, and also just looking at these jellyfish, they kind of look like cute, squishy like Metroids. They're like
Send me a video to react to.
yeah. You got a couple on the.
All right, so number 10 is the Hydra, also potentially immortal. Hydra is a group of small invertebrates with soft bodies that look a bit like jellyfish. Like the immortal
Ooh, yeah.
jellyfish, Hydra also have the potential to live forever. Hydras don't show signs of deteriorating with age, Life Science
Portuguese man
previously
of war,
reported.
baby.
These invertebrates are largely made up of stem cells which continually regenerate through duplication or cloning. Hydras don't live forever under natural conditions because of threats like predators and disease, but without these external threats, they could be immortal.
Like the Borg.
So I'm going to react.
But also, an example of a Hydra would be a better known one would be the Portuguese man of war, because it is not a jellyfish. It is a Hydra,
Hold on. I have to. There we go.
and that
Just
is the
one second.
difference between them. The Hydra are like a group of them, like a group
Well,
of
that's how the coral and everything get
yeah.
on top too.
But
So
jellyfish are singular.
yeah, so that's what's impressive about the jellyfish.
Mm. And it's weird that yeah, like a different species like the kind of like does like a different like the same thing that the jellyfish does, you know?
It doesn't want to. Okay, I'm trying to watch the shark video right now, but my phone's acting up.
Oh yeah, the shark video. Do you have the app?
Yes, I have the app.
But do you have the FAP?
I actually might have to. And we're back after some technical difficulties.
Yep.
All right,
I
so
don't know how much of what I was saying got in there,
oh,
but where were we?
we are react. I'm video right now.
Okay, cool. How far into it are you?
23
I'm not sure.
seconds.
Okay, cool. Like being in that tight little submarine. And these actually are they get about the same. I think Greenland sharks maybe. I maybe get a little bit bigger, but not noticeably. You know,
Hold on.
these things. Once you see them, you'll see how big these fuckers are.
Yeah, I got you.
Ooh,
What are they munching on? They're munching on something.
something that I think it's like a dead whale, like long
They're
dead
about
that
to start.
fell.
They're attacking each other now.
Yeah, they're getting mad. Little little territorial bites, or they could be frenzied too. Look at that
They
Godzilla face. That Shin Godzilla face.
definitely. That's definitely Shin Godzilla. That would creep me out.
Yeah, he's bumping on the.
He's much bigger than the submarine. They just needed to get out of here. I wouldn't be messing with these guys.
Getting bashed.
All right, so I'm gonna switch to the glass sponge video now.
They different, totally not related to Greenland sharks though. Might even have different, because I think they're even like the type of teeth these ones have are much different too. They had very weird looking teeth. Probably more of a scavenger. The sponge. And I believe there's several different sponges that are, or of glass sponges. Add.
Sorry, I had to satiate
There.
my hunger.
No, you're all good. I was trying to rush to the video, but that made me. It was one of the ads that make you fucking watch them.
We might actually not use on any of this, to be honest.
Look at that. I mean, we might as well.
uh,
Maybe you could just. I know you don't usually, but maybe you could just like edit in the glass sponge.
no.
A picture of the glass sponge in the background just fades in. Look at that.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I wonder
All
how
right,
like
got you.
I'm sure that glass sponge will live forever as long as it like a light breeze doesn't knock it over.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, but I wanted to talk about the Olm.
Oh yeah, talk about the ohm. Talk about the ohm.
Okay, well,
Let's scrap
it
these
kind of
videos. That video
it
idea
kind of
was.
it's. I didn't mean to be so many videos to be racked up. It would have been fine if it was just one. But the Ohm kind of got his, I don't know, like there's definitely bigger cocks in this room. Like he's he's got like a nice, he's like, oh, it's like traditionally big. It's like ooh, it's like 8 inches. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
that's nifty. But it's like he's in a room with like fucking like a bunch of Ron Jeremys. uh, but it's the longest living amphibian.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
average lifespan to 68.4 years, but they can live up to past 100. So, you know. And they also don't have any eyes.
you show?
they look like axolotls from Silent Hill, basically. Look up a picture of it all.
You're you're fluffing the man. It ain't no 7 inches.
they they live in caves. I mean, and they they don't have any eyes, but they basically locate their prey through chemicals in the water through their gills, their external gills. So that's the Ohm.
they're, they're they're a solid. They're a solid four with a tiny bit of girth. like, no, like the all ten of the species we covered, like vastly outlive them.
Hey, man, look, what's the average? Let's look up the average
And one was a
like
one was a mammal.
lifespan of like a
One
bullfrog.
one was a mammal. I'm just gonna point that out. One was a mammal.
But for amphibians, I mean, come on, we're talking about in the context of amphibians here. Look at it. It's called the human fish. But
unfortunately, unfortunately, the amphibian race aren't bigger than 4 inches and a little tiny girth.
oh, and I think there's one thing about it too that's interesting. I think it can't mate until it's like 20 years old either.
What?
So, you know what? Got some things in common. I
Uh,
stand with the Om.
uh,
Did you look up a picture of the Om?
not yet, not yet.
So, do you agree, Axolotl from Silent Hill?
The
It's a OLM.
It looks like a fucking It looks like it's related to the axolotl.
It's got no eyes though, and it's like super long and slender manny.
Yeah, yeah. It's very weird
It's
looking.
it's like the dark side version of like the axolotl,
I wouldn't say the dark
sort of
side.
evolved.
I would say it's more like the cousin that you don't really want to see come to the family reunion.
Because he's blind.
No.
I just, I know,
Cuz he's
I know what you mean. But hey, they exist.
Yeah. All right. So, unclean segue. I wanted to correct. I'm not sure if the episode actually aired or not, but there was an episode where we started talking about one of my biology teachers from high school.
hmm
How
Did
he
that make
was
it on air?
a quack.
hmm
He tried to teach me the difference between haploid and diploid, and you know what? Fuck this. I ain't got the energy for this.
For haploid and diploid? Do you have the
Yeah.
energy for the other thing he told you though?
Oh, the deer fucking
Yeah,
yeah, deer fucking
the thing that's like even,
more batshit crazy.
yeah.
Because the haploid and diploid thing was more just like an oversight on his part. Haploid and diploid,
Mm.
it's fucking boring, but yeah, deer can't ever. I said asexually reproduce, but I was talking about self fertilization, but they can't even fucking do that, so.
Nope. No mammal can.
And
and
I have left some articles. I've left some links in the description
though
to.
some creationists would disagree.
And you did point out that if there was a deer that did like self-fertilize, like the religious
Oh,
people
they be.
would
Oh
eat
yeah,
that shit up.
there's people I know and respect that would would cite that endlessly.
All right. So, did you want to get in the mirror test?
Oh yeah, we can end with that. This is a little bit of a loose thing because I don't really have any articles. This is just from kind of a little rabbit hole I've been just gonna go down by myself.
That's fine.
Not even
This
really
can't. This ain't
preparing
considered an
anything.
iceberg. This is not. Little note: icebergs will be given their own episodes now, so we aren't chopping off half the episode to cover something, and so we can give
Oh,
the
nice.
icebergs full episodes. And little
Okay.
teaser: the next iceberg episode will be about Bloodborne, and I will be doing that.
Okay.
The lore. I've my theory on how the lore takes place and what takes place and who betrays who and such like that.
Cool, cool.
So onto the mirror test.
Alrighty. Sorry. Ooh, got a loogie. Bad timing. One second.
That's fine. I have the. I can explain the mirror test, sometimes called the mark test or mirror self recognition test, is a behavioral technique developed in 1970 by American psychologist Gordon Gallup Jr. as an attempt to determine whether an animal possesses the ability of visual self recognition.
Yes, and this is, and I want to, and this is like a because I was having a little bit of a semi debate with Murda over kind of like the cats having self recognition because they display because an animal can display kind of half of it, you know, of just because an animal understands that maybe that the reflection is a non-entity, it doesn't mean that it understands that it's itself. Just
Yeah,
because it
I get you.
understands that other things in the reflection are a reflection of them. Because, like, you know, even like them reacting to you in the reflection and knowing that you're coming towards or something like that. But it's that they have to understand that like themselves is the you know it's sort of it's kind of a complicated thing, and the way that they have to display it is through yeah like the mark, which is when they put a mark on the animal and put it in front of the mirror, and the animal has to react to the mark being there, like leaning its head to look at the mark in the mirror. That would be a display that would know that like oh I know that's myself because I'm turning my head and through the you know to look at it through the mirror and
Now,
like making faces in the mirror and things like that.
have animals been able to like establish like? Of course, they probably are aware of the mark, but if they're not, like, have animals like looked at the mark and then looked at themselves, if that makes sense. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Like
Like, they saw the mark
you
on the
mean like
animal in the mirror and then examined their own body to establish it.
uh yeah like they would try to remove the mark. Yeah.
Okay,
That's like another yeah they you know they'd interact with the mark from seeing it
gotcha,
in the
gotcha.
mirror.
That's what I wanted to establish.
Hmm.
If
Yes.
they were able to actually identify that the mark was on themselves.
And I believe I remember the official list. is 8 animals that actually pass this test in total, and I have
Um,
to actually look that up. And I know gorillas, it's actually pretty mixed. Some people say that they fail. Some people say it's uh, maybe it's
there,
more of a
uh,
thing in captivity.
I can read the animals that have passed segment in the Wikipedia if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Several studies using a wide range of species have
Ooh, let me
investigated.
guess some. Let me guess some though.
Oh, it doesn't go into the species.
uh, okay,
Wait, it does. My bad, my
okay.
bad.
I'm gonna guess a couple. I'm gonna say
Okay,
orangutan, elephant. Gonna say Gonna say dolphins. Gonna say magpie. Gonna say gonna say ooh um manta ray for some reason. I remember something weird about manta ray. But
okay, all right,
that's my 5 guesses. I don't know what the other three would be.
all right. So, in the mammals category, you were correct. The bottlenose dolphin, and I love this one. The killer whale has
Oh, that
also.
doesn't surprise me. They're big dolphins.
Yeah, I know. The bonobo, and of course the orangutan, the chimpanzee, and it says the gorilla, and of course
Yeah,
human.
that's mixed. That's mixed.
At least four
I
studies have reported that gorillas failed to show self-recognition. It does state that there are some studies that.
I wonder how much because it's really different when because they sometimes do it in the wild, then they have different results when they do it in the wild, and sometimes they have different results when they do it in captivity.
And the Asian elephant also has passed.
Mm.
The You were right about the magpie, the Euro-Asian magpie to be more specific. Some
Ah.
pigeons have actually passed the mirror test as well.
People always say pigeons are stupid, but look how stupid you are now.
Yeah. In some pigeons, I'm gonna get into the pigeons actually because I'm actually interested in knowing that because you did point that's a good thing to point out. People do think pigeons are
Mhm.
stupid. Some pigeons can pass the mirror test after training in the prerequisite behaviors. In 1981, American psychologist B.F. Skinner found the pigeons are capable of passing a highly modified mirror test after extensive training.
Okay, this is what I want to kind of go into a little bit. We're gonna go on a little rant here for a second.
That doesn't
Um,
count.
yeah, this is kind of a Coco situation right here. You know Coco the gorilla?
Yeah, the sign language using gorilla.
Where then and the whole thing was that they said that like not only did they teach it sign language, but it could communicate. Coco could communicate through sign language and
Yeah,
its her
yeah.
emotions, and though it turned out all to be false. It was all fabricated.
Oh man, that.
It was heavily like there's like the things about her having the kitten and wanting the kitten. That's all true. She was a loving, and she did have a seem to have an obsession with nipples. She loved nipples. She loved Rob Williams' nipples. Uh,
Okay.
but otherwise, she pretty much just associated like if you actually like looked at her speech patterns when it's like the unedited footage and stuff, and like them or like when they actually write things down like of what she's saying. It's just like just a random combinations of words, and she's just trying to get treats.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So she doesn't actually they don't have they just don't have the ability to have that type of language like we do like that, and
Gotcha.
it's
Yeah.
always and that's why like the whole teaching thing. That's why I want to like I would love to know more about the the successful gorilla experiments with the mirror thing because like I mean at least from what I've seen, I mean at least from the wild ones, they don't. Though if orangutans can pass it, I don't think they'd. I don't know. I'd have to see because I think it is more of an aggression thing with the mirror test. Because you did. Oh, okay, gotcha. Um, one example. It's a video I sent. Is it's specifically of silverbacks, and you could see that. I mean, they can't even begin to process what the mirror is because they're so caught up in the ritual of their territorial uh, display ritual. Like the whole time the silverback doesn't look at the mirror at all. He doesn't ever face it fully. He only side eyes it because silverbacks, if he was to make eye contact, that's initiating a full on like fight to the death. So
Oh,
he's side
okay.
eyeing it and just
I
trying to
I get
scare it
you. I
away.
fully understand.
So he can't. So he can't. He's not even like. He can't even like sit there and be like focus on it and be like, oh wait a minute, this is something else. He's like, oh shit, too caught up in fear to even like
Yeah.
have a chance to. That's why I think that's why the orangutans have a one up. But I'm wondering if like the ones that pass are female gorillas maybe because they don't have they're not as aggressive,
Yeah.
you know. So I wish there was more specifics on that. So I'd have to hear more specifics on the gorilla before I'd have more of an opinion
I can go
before I
into
could call
the
him dumb.
specifics of the gorilla. I didn't really get into the
Okay.
specific. I can get into findings
Chimps
for
have
the
the same problem too, by the way.
but yeah, you want me to get into the little section on gorillas? I wasn't done though. They had fish and manta rays on there as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get the mid
But I
race.
wanted to get into the fish cuz I wanted to know if it was training like the because you know how somebody trained, I forgot what they like someone trained like a couple of goldfish to like play a
hmm
certain video game or
I
something.
watched a couple. I watched a couple of the manta ray videos. I didn't see how. I didn't know what constituted them. It seemed like they were just going around in circles and like looking at the mirror, but it didn't seem like they did any mark thing. Like that's like the whole point of the mirror test is to do the mark thing and
Yeah, that
to see if it understands, not if it's just playing with its reflection.
this says in 2006 a modified mirror test was done on two captive manta rays, shown that they exhibited behaviors associated with self-awareness.
Hmm.
But it doesn't really go into detail about it.
Hmm.
And
So I wonder if they just have like lower standards for fish.
I don't know. I was actually about to get into the fish right now because it says,
Okay.
according to a study done in 2019, cleaner warsals have become the first fish observed to pass the mirror test. The blue streak cleaner warsal is a tiny tropical reef cleaner fish. Cleaner fish have an adapted evolutionary behavior in which they remove parasites and dead tissue from larger fish. When put through the mirror test using a uh, Bingen brown gel injected into the skin of the fish and resembling a parasite. How is this even a mirror test anymore? They're injecting stuff into the fish. Resembling the parasite, the cleaner Warsaw showed all the behaviors passing through the phases of the test, which provided with a colored tag and a modified mark. The fish attempted to scrape off the tag by scraping their bodies from the side of the mirror. I
Hmm. Um.
I don't under I'm gonna say that fish have not passed.
Yeah. I'm just giving you an example of what those guys are.
All right, so I'm gonna read the gorilla one now. Findings for gorillas have been mixed, more so than the other great apes. At least four studies have reported the gorillas failed to show self-recognition. However, other studies have shown self-recognition, although on gorillas with extensive human contact and required modification of the test by ha- ha- habitating the gorillas to
Hmm.
the mirror and not using anesthetic. So yeah, they can't even say like they're like cheating for the gorillas.
Yeah. So that's why it's mixed on there. I knew there was a reason why, because it's like disputed
Yeah, I
that
would
if they
definitely say
passed it or
that.
not. And and honestly, I'm gonna say they don't.
They say there's animals that may pass. The gibbon apparently may pass,
Oh. And I think it's like
and pigs as well.
50%. Huh?
Pigs as well might also pass.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you know that like humans don't pass until I think it's like between like 15 months and 2 years old.
Oh, hold on.
So
Let me just
there's a point
typically. All
there's
right.
like
Yeah,
almost a
yeah. It
good
says it
year
right
that
here.
you
Typically, humans begin to show self-recognition in the mirror test when they are about 18 months old.
so there's a good year when we're fucking dumb. Just fucking dumb, useless little grubs.
Like for a year and a quarter.
hmm
All
You know, there's
right.
some kids that are probably like that for like a little longer. I probably was.
All right. So yeah, I'm not sure how much of this episode is gonna make it in.
hmm Oh, but did you want to? So, what do you think about cats? What have you
Cats.
observed? How does your cat interact with the mirror?
I I I never actually like. They don't really interact with the mirrors in the house.
You never like placed your cat in front of the mirror and just for fun?
No, I never done that to the sugars. No, I haven't.
Because I noticed with like Nico, R.I.P. Um, she definitely would notice me through the mirror, but I don't know if she really got that she was looking at herself.
Yeah, I get. I
Same with any cat I've seen.
I get. I know what you mean. You're trying to say like they can establish that there's
Hmm.
not two of you, but they can't really process that there's not
And
another cat right there.
this is purely anecdotal, but I remember there's like a video I was trying to find that was referenced in a couple comment sections, and then they like no one else could find it either. Of like a video of like an owner like pranking their cat, and it's like cat looking at the mirror, and it's this owner like he keeps like about to touch it, like not touching it, but it's like coming up behind it, and it's just looking at the mirror, and anytime it sees him get close, it just like goes like meow. So that's like almost a display, possibly, of it knowing that the owner is about to poke it, which it doesn't like, and if it knows that if it doesn't like that, maybe that's that specific cat actually got the fact that it's looking at itself. That
Yeah,
could just be
maybe,
like
maybe.
the rare smart cat. Because dogs don't pass that test either,
It
technically.
didn't say that. I wasn't the list for the failed was quite
Hmm.
long. I didn't want to get into the ones that failed.
Yeah. Because I feel like dogs are more emotionally intelligent, you know? I think
Yeah.
there's the difference. between like emotional intelligence too, because
Oh
and it
no,
makes sense
I
because
just
they're
now I
pack
had to
animals.
check. Giant pandas failed the test, sadly.
I'm not surprised. Are you really?
No, but
They can't even fuck.
I I wish I wish my favorite animal would get a one up.
You're just hoping at least like if they weren't fucking, at least they were being big brained somewhere else.
Yes. They- They're too busy contemplating their place in the universe.
I'm gonna only eat a bamboo and not fuck. You better believe I don't know who the fuck that is in the mirror. I'm definitely not gonna not fuck whatever that is in the mirror. That's for sure.
All right. All right. So we've went way over. We're probably way over an hour now.
Who cares? That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Even if it's not good, it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one. So, if you have been listening this long, which I don't think anybody has, thank you. Really, it's much appreciated. Please like,
And
comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share the video, even though I don't think this one really deserves to be shared. And
don't get eaten.
yeah, and go watch some more
Be
of our
like
content.
don't be like that girl. Don't be like that Russian girl who got eaten alive and called her mother and was calling talking to her while she was being eaten alive by a grizzly. Don't be like that.
That is like dark way to end the show, but okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Animal episode, everybody.
That this will be a bye bye.
Bye bye.